specialize in music most people hate. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check out our Facebook page, Instagram, and our website. Let us share the noise with you.
Yo, this is John from Noise Dosage Media, and this episode is brought to you by Begrudgingly Benny. Interested in putting something horrific and grotesque on your next piece of merch? Benny is tucked away in the fiery depths of COVID quarantine, blasting the filthiest of old school death metal and drawing hideous creatures that he is waiting for you to adopt. Go over to Instagram and follow at BegrudginglyBenny and contact him if you would like some really weird original art for your band or label. Super professional, highly recommended. All right, so the first question is, Cole, if you didn't choose to be like a musician, where do you think you'd be right now?
Well, right now, I'm kind of like a ex full-time musician, and I'm actually pursuing like an IT career. So I'm actually in school for IT right now. I'm like in a school for cybersecurity,
Nice.
which is like way different than what I've ever been into, but it's cool so far. I think it's like a good field to get into, and I've always been interested in like computers and stuff, and so that's what I'm studying right now.
There you go. That's probably a really good field to have. I mean, you could probably do that on the road if you were on
For
tour.
sure. Yeah, definitely. Like once like everything's over, I'm definitely trying to do some tours with like Eastwood, and like Torture Team's already talked about doing some tours and stuff. So we're definitely gonna try
There
to
you
do
go.
some stuff,
It's gonna be
But,
sweet.
yeah.
So here's a composer question. Now, when you're writing a new song, what is like your top priority?
It depends on the band. Like if it's Eastwood, usually like how the songs come to me is like I'm like jamming around like my acoustic, and I'll just like maybe play like a quarter riff or something that sounds cool, and then I'll try to like build around that. But with Torture Tomb, it's like it's weird because a lot of time with Torture Tomb, I'll like maybe hear like a song or something that like inspires me to want to write something.
Right.
But usually with Torture Tomb, I'm just like want to sit down and like just fucking play some like heavy stuff.
Right.
And
What tuning are you guys using for that project?
Torture Tomb is B standard. Our demo, like the very first demo, that sounds really bad because we recorded that like mono and like a practice rehearsal space or whatever.
Raw
That's
is
in
good, man.
Yeah, that's in drop A. But since that we started to get into like playing standard tuning, so we do a B standard now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed that you're a big fan of like Tomb Mold, Sanguisugabogg, Frozen
Yeah.
Soul, and stuff. The old school death metal revival squad, correct?
Oh yeah. Those are my boys, all of them.
So I want to ask you this: do you think old school death metal is like making a huge comeback? It like
I think
within the
so,
last
yeah.
year, like
I think so. I'm young, so like I've only been to death metal for probably like 4 years at this point, like not too
right.
long, but like I started getting into it like when like the revival started happening. I think like the bands that really got me into it were like Vast Tomb, and of course like
Mhm.
Cannibal Corpse and all that stuff. But yeah, I got into it pretty recently too. But I love like all the new bands like Tomb Mold. Like those guys are really
Right.
cool. Like Sanguisugabogg, those are some of, like my really good friends. And of course, I like Torture Tomb that like played shows with Frozen Soul. Like Torture Tomb played a house show with Frozen Soul like last July, which is
Dude,
crazy.
house shows are the best.
Oh yeah, it was fucking nuts, dude. It was like in the July, like middle of the summer in Dallas, Texas. It was awesome. Like somebody broke like a chandelier in Frozen Soul set. And that was really cool. That was like before Frozen Soul really blew up, and I just
Yeah.
knew about them because like I've been kind of like involved in the Dallas scene just because of Torture Tomb, even though I'm not from Texas at all.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like really liked their demo on Maggot Stomp, and we were trying to find a
Right.
show, so I was like, I'm gonna try to get this band to play, and yeah, and those guys are awesome. They're like
You
the
should
coolest dudes
you
ever.
should try to freaking push your band on Magastomp.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to Scott, is the guy that runs it. I've talked to him like a couple of times, and like we've had like some interactions on social media, but he's never brought up like interest in signing us. Like that's like our dream would be to sign the Maggot Stomp. But right now we're on like a really cool tape label. This
Yeah.
guy out from Oakland, it's called like Transylvanian Recordings, and
There you
he's
go.
talking about doing like vinyl soon. So that'll be really cool. And like he's got a really good following. Like we got like a lot of lot of cool fans from that demo just from like releasing it on his label. So
Yeah. How about
yeah,
Sewer Rot? Are you a fan of Sewer Rot?
yeah, I've heard of them. I think they actually reached out to us to do a split. I
Yeah,
think I'm
they're
not sure.
from L.A.
Okay, no,
and
I'm thinking. No, I'm thinking of a no. It was a band from Chicago on Sewer Rot Records. So that's where I got that mixed up.
yeah. All right. So, Frozen Soul. What did you think of the new album? Holy
Dude,
shit, man!
honestly, I haven't got around to listening to it. I've been
Mm,
so busy. I need to listen to that. I've heard like everyone's like freaking out about it though. I've heard like the singles and they're cool. It's super old school. It's almost like a old like Bolt Thrower.
Yeah, it's so groovy, man. Dude, go to the gym to that, and yeah,
Dude, I need to check it out. I've been like every time I go to the gym, I just like turn on Morbid Angel by default, and I like never think I can never think of like new albums to listen to. Like I was like the last like new album that I like was really into was that Gorophilia album. I still listen to that like every day, but
yeah,
I need to get more on top of the new stuff.
yeah. I've been getting into Necrophagist recently, or Necrophagist, however you say it.
Okay, yeah, they're sick. That's like that like black and death metal band, right?
They're very techy,
Yeah,
very techy.
yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. They have like a really old record. I think that came out in like the '90s or something that I really like.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
sick.
so so what have you been up to with your projects? Like, give me a rundown. What have you been up to in COVID? You got a lot of projects. Yeah.
Yeah, my Eastwood band's like my indie band. It's like the polar opposite of Torture Tomb, but we
Hmm.
released our record on Pure Noise in September, and
Yep.
that was like a really big moment for us because we I'd been working on that record for like 4 years because you know I was on tour for like 10 months a year for 5 years, so I didn't really get time to like focus on really anything else but that band. But
Right.
yeah, I finally got time to like record it like February of 2020, and yeah, Pure Noise wanted to put it out, so we got on Pure Noise, and yeah, we put that record out, and it's doing pretty good for like the fun that we had before.
Yeah.
But
It's pretty freaking popping.
yeah,
Like.
we're trying to like you know, tour and play some shows and get the word out there whenever we can because
Hmm.
it's hard to I don't know, kind of promote an album during this times because you can't like play shows or
Right.
anything. Like the only way to like promote an album is like post on social media, and like we don't have that many followers, so it's just like posting to the
Yeah.
same people. But yeah, we're hoping that we can play some shows and maybe like hop on a tour and try to make it happen, even though we're all like adults and have like full time jobs or like are in school or whatever. But we're gonna try to make it happen and do some tours.
Right. Yeah. I've been told, just push the weekend runs for a while. Like, if
Yeah,
that's a good start.
that's probably gonna be our game for a while, for sure,
Hmm.
until it's financially like I don't know, makes sense for us to do something more than a weekend run. But yeah, I
Right.
mean, if we get offered like a big tour or something, for like doing like 2 weeks of it, I'm sure like we'll find a way to make it happen. You know, it just depends.
Right.
But
Now, being a guitar player myself, I got to ask you, do you use that? It's like a super chorus amp. Like a lot of the indie bands use it. I don't know what the hell it's called. It's like
so
this
super
Fender
cool.
chorus something.
We actually don't. We use a Marshall JSM 800. That's what we recorded the entire record with the Marshall JSM 800. And we did like the clean stuff with the Morgan amp that our producer had.
Nice. There
Yeah.
you go.
So yeah, even though we're indie, we like to you know keep it rocking with the Marshall. But
Right. Right.
yeah,
Right.
we did the whole like all of the rhythms with like the Marshall 800, a Mesa Overdrive, and like my Gibson Les Paul. So it's like
Yeah.
classic rock tone. But like what yeah with the clean stuff, like we use like a other guitars we use is like my Ibanez Hollow Body and like my Fender Strat. Then we use
Hmm.
that Morgan amp for. Then we use like some like Kemper tones for some like
Nice.
overtones or undertones for some like the like chunkier stuff. But yeah,
I
it's mostly Marshall.
so my Axe Effects, I was gonna sell it recently, and you know, I didn't realize how much power it had until I bought those amp sims. Like I always assumed it just sounded like crap. Then I started buying amp sims. I'm like, holy crap! Like this is a amazing piece of equipment.
No, they're awesome.
Like,
Yeah, I wanted to get a Kemper for a while because like they're so cool. Like my producer kind of put me onto them because he had like his old band recorded with like Kurt Crummett, and he had
mhm.
like that noise pack, and he had it was like a 80s Mesa dual rec or something that he had profiled on there. Dude, it sounded so good. Like it sounded like I was playing like straight through a Mesa through those monitors,
Right,
and yeah,
right.
you can get
I
some really cool tones out of those like profile amps. Like, I have nothing against them, honestly.
I think the coolest thing that I've ever been told about those is like, I don't know if you know Chris from Volvadinia.
I do not. I don't think so. I know
Well,
what that band is though.
yeah, so they're from Africa or something, somewhere around that
Okay,
area.
wow.
And they only bring a Kemper. That's all they bring. No cabs, no nothing. They just bring the
Really?
Kemper. And it just sounds so convenient.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. Yeah, we toured with bands like whenever we knocked loose did like a tour with Beartooth and Sylar, and Sylar's all Kemper, like straight at the PA, but they have like in-ear monitors, so that's how they make that work. Cause like I don't know, I just like I'm old school. I like having the amp on stage, and I like feeling like the power from the amp and having that monitor on stage. But you know,
right,
I've nothing against using a Kemper and like in-ears because I mean that's how you get the most professional sound, honestly, and like you don't have to like
right.
worry about your shit breaking because dude, like I don't even know how many times like my fucking pedal board because like when you're touring for like 10 months a year, like you're using like all analog shit, like my like cables, like my because I would be running like 20 pedals and like if like one of the patch cables shit out, like your entire rig just like cut off. So
Yeah, and
you
you're
just
like,
never know.
I have 2 seconds to figure out this issue, or
Yeah, and
it's
everyone's
gonna.
like yelling at you after the show. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, dude, sorry, like I can't help it if like a patch cable that's been thrown around in the fucking van trailer for 30 days decides to shit out. Like I can't help it. Or like for like one tube decides to die like in the middle of the show.
Right.
So the
Yeah.
Kembers are definitely good for bands that like tour hardcore.
Right.
So
I
yeah,
have I have an angle, and I just got this notice that one of my tubes failed, and I'm like, fuck, dude,
damn.
because it costs like 250. But well, to
Oh
get them
yeah,
like biased, I think it's like $250 last time I got it done.
yeah, yeah. Those like really high gain like 200-watt amps. That's how my Mesa. I have a triple rack, and like I retubed it when I got it, and it was so much money because I mean, there's like I think like 10 power tubes or something, then like even more preamp tubes and stuff. So
You are a big Trailer Park Boys fan, correct? Or
I
no,
am, yes, correct,
dude?
very much
All
so.
right. So, what is your favorite episode? Like, if you were to like really think about it.
Dude, that's hard because me and my girlfriend just watched the entire show like last month. So
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Like I think like the one when like Leahy like goes off the rails and like says he's the liquor is like pretty classic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just love like there's like so many moments of the show that I like. I can't really pick like an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the part when like like one of my favorite parts of the whole show is how Julian like is always carrying his drink with him. And he never drops it. It's like no matter what. Like that one scene where like they flip the car and he like comes out from under with like his drink.
Yeah.
And like whenever like they get like pulled over by the cops and like they have like guns pointed at them and like Julian like has his hand raised with the drink and Bubbles is like put the drink down. He's like it's cool. He's just like refuses to put the drink down. Like
Yeah.
that's like the funniest part of the show.
I think my favorite is the part where Ricky goes to do the towel rack.
Yeah.
And he misses the stud, and then he takes on the whole wall, and then the water freaking starts
Oh
shooting out and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, he like starts that business
Yeah.
to like yeah install the towel rack and like destroys her bathroom.
Yeah, and I think I don't know who was yelling, but he's like, "What the hell are you doing, man? All he had to do was put up a towel rack."
Yeah, that's relatable. Honestly, that's like something I would do.
It's hilarious. Like I don't, I don't know. There's just something about that show.
It's the
But
best. It's probably my favorite show, like comedy show at least.
um, are you all the way down on your end?
I'm I'm like as low as I can go on my phone. It like won't let me turn it down anymore for some reason.
All right. Try to put it like a little bit farther back.
All right, cool.
The bolt is that bolt thrower in the back?
Oh yeah, that's my bolt thrower poster.
Yes, dude. That's sick. That is freaking sweet. Now, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is it messing it up, the audio?
No, that's perfect.
Okay,
It's fine.
cool.
So being a musician, you get put in different avenues, and sometimes you're given advice that's really bad.
hmm
What has been the best advice you've ever been given when it comes down to like the music industry that has like pushed you, knocked loose, anything that you've ever done, like
mm
forward?
I think like probably like I don't know if this is advice anyone has given me, but like people always ask like how did like Knocked Loose get so big or whatever, and I think like the main thing is just like playing as many shows as you can, like just like
Mm-hmm.
being cool with everyone, like not I don't know, being like an elitist, I guess. You know how like how cliche that is, but like just like
Right,
making
right,
friends with everyone. Like anytime you play a show, like I don't know, like make friends with the bands, and like you kind of just like build like a network that way. Like that's how like Knocked Loose just build like a huge like network, I guess, and just playing so many
right.
shows. Because I mean, we were on the road for like eight months a year for 5 years, and just playing show after show, like networking with bands, and like that's kind of how you do it, you know. Like you
Right.
yeah, I don't know. That's like my advice. Like just like build your network, I guess, as much as possible,
Right.
and like don't be cool. Like don't like refuse to play a show because it doesn't fall into your genre. Or there's like a band you don't like playing the show. Just
Right.
do whatever
Even
you
if you're playing
can.
with death metal bands, like, dude,
Oh
just
yeah,
do it.
dude, anything.
I
Yeah, if you're a hardcore band, play with metal bands. If you're a metal band, play with hardcore bands because you'll just like get that audience. And you never know when like there'll be like a hardcore kid at your show that'll like your death metal band or vice versa. So
right.
yeah.
Now the show that I saw, I think I only saw you guys once, that band Knocked Loose. And it
Mm.
was at the Every Time I Die. It was like a festival in Buffalo with Vane.
Yeah.
Holy crap, man.
Oh yeah, that was like their Christmas show, I think.
Yeah, I was directly in
Yeah.
front of you. I'm like, like, I'm more of a death metal guy, but there's something that, got me with that band. Like,
Mm.
it's just in your face. But,
Oh yeah.
so we were talking about your other bands and you're planning on touring. Are you
Mm.
planning on to stay in the United States or overseas, or what's the plan?
Oh, we'll see. I mean, we're down for anything. Like, I have like connections with people in Europe and like Japan and stuff. So I always tell
Mhm.
the Eastwood guys that we should just only tour in Japan because it's like the best country ever. Like,
Yeah, dude.
we'll do Japan tours and not tour the U.S. You know,
Yeah,
but
that'd be actually. You just have Japan fans and just live
right,
there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're down to do whatever. Like, yeah, Europe's cool. Japan, Australia, we'll do anything. Like, it just depends because, like I said, we're all adults and have our respective responsibilities. So like as long as we can get off work and all that good stuff. But
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
All right. So the perspective you've had on music, how has it changed since you first started? Like the first ever local show that you ever played to, I don't know. Now you've played how many shows in your career? I'm just curious.
A lot. I don't know
Yeah.
because whenever I first started playing shows, I was like really young in high school and like all I cared about was music and like I didn't really take into account anything else. It's just like I want to play shows and that's it. And I think like as I grew older and like I had life experiences that kind of like you get into other things and like are interested in other things and like your music doesn't become like your number one, I guess. But like I still like music like will always be like my number one thing. But and as
Mm-hmm.
I got older, I kind of I don't know. I feel like you gotta like not put all your eggs in one basket. Like
Right.
um, I don't know. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but yeah, but yeah, like yeah. When I was in high school, like I was like all music. Like I don't care about anything else. But then
Did you have
like
a local band or no?
yeah, I did
Like,
actually. Like me and the drummer of Knocked Loose were in a local like hardcore metalcore band or whatever, and that's how I met all those guys.
That's sweet.
And yeah, we would play like local shows and stuff.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
how was your local scene like when you started playing? Was it tight? Was it tight? Like, I don't know. Like around Rochester, the metal community is actually like really tight. Like the local shows are packed.
Yeah. Oh, it was great back then. Like back when I started going to shows in like 2014, like we had like a lot of different bands and like that I didn't even like know what death metal was back then, honestly, but
Mhm.
we had it was like a bunch of different like hardcore bands, like metalcore bands. Like we had like I don't know if you heard of the band Greyhaven, but
I feel, I feel like I have.
they're from Louisville. They're kind of like Every Time I Die, like Norma Jean. They're awesome. Like I highly recommend them to anyone that hasn't heard of them. Like
I've
check
seen
out their
Norma
record.
Jean, but it was weird because their vocalist was six was this instrumental. It was really weird.
Really,
But
that is weird. Yeah,
so
I've never seen Norma Jean, but yeah, they're like that style, like the old school like metalcore, I guess, like post hardcore stuff. But yeah,
mhm.
like this scene used to be great, and like I don't know, I feel like as the years went by, like all the bands like kind of either broke up or like started dwindling out, and I feel like that we didn't have as many shows anymore. And I mean now, like I mean, there's obviously no shows going on right now, but like now like all the Louisville venues are shut down. Like Spinelli's was like our last venue. Like my
Oh
band
man.
Eastwood, like Eastwood has played Spinelli's like countless times because it's just like a small venue and any band can play it. Just because like it doesn't matter who shows up, like 100 people or 2 people. Like
Right. Right.
there's always bands playing there, and now
You
that's shut
said it
down. So
closed. It like for a close, it's done.
it closed, yeah, because I think because like COVID or whatever, like
Yeah.
this business just. I mean, it was like in the heart of downtown Louisville, and like I know that
Right.
rent isn't cheap, and
Yeah.
so they closed down. So I don't know how this scene's gonna be like whenever shows come back. Like I don't know like where small bands are gonna be able to play. Like I've talked to my band like with Eastwood about just kind of like playing more like adult shows, I guess, like playing more at like bars or something, like
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
like trying to find like the punk shows because like we don't have any like punk or like I don't know like rock or underground venues anymore really, which is sad,
Yeah.
but it's just
I mean,
reality.
we got lucky. The only local venue around here got like fundraised. It was
Really,
crazy. Yeah, it was like 20 grand.
that's rough. Yeah. Yeah, I mean Spinelli's
Uh,
wasn't even a venue, it was like a pizza restaurant that had
yeah,
like they like let bands play there like in the basement of
yeah.
this pizza restaurant, which is kind of
There's
cool.
there's a place in Buffalo. It's called like Casa di Francesca's or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's. Do you know that video that blew up? It was like this dude. He was yelling. He's like, "What the fuck is up? We're at Denny's or something like that."
Oh yeah, what the fuck's up, Denny's?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was in
that's
Buffalo.
classic. Really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
My
That's
brother
a
sent me that. Yeah, that's
yeah.
funny. That's a classic video.
I don't know if that's still gonna be open, but yeah, it's some like Italian restaurant. They serve like lasagna.
It's fuck, dude. R.I.P. Denny's.
Yeah, but
You said you're
yeah,
from Rochester?
I just moved from Rochester to Buffalo,
Okay, cool.
but
I know Undeath, they're from Rochester. I don't know if you've heard of them. Well, I don't know who hasn't
I
heard of them at
do.
this point because they're huge, but yeah, I
I
love that band, dude.
my band that is gone. We played with them their first show before they blew
Oh,
up,
really?
and
Damn.
I after their show, it was like a Monday night. There was like nobody there, but I looked at one of my friends. I'm like, this band's gonna be big. Like
Yeah.
they don't look like anything right now, but they're gonna be huge. And then
Oh, they're
they
awesome.
freaking
Yeah.
blew up in like a year.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I heard about
holy
them because
shit, man.
yeah, I'm like a part of like this death metal, like underground death metal, like Facebook group, whatever, and like somebody posted like their demo like before Sentient
Yeah,
at Tallest or whatever it's called
yeah.
came out, and yeah, dude, I fell in love with that demo, and of course their full length is awesome, but yeah, that band's awesome.
They've definitely the newest album was a lot more produced, but I feel like it needed just a touch because of their tuning, because they're in like drop G or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, it's G sharp standard actually.
They're in G sharp.
Yeah, G sharp. It's
Yeah.
like the like Cannibal Corpse is that's like their lowest tuning.
Yeah, I write in G, and like
Damn.
my strings are like this thick, man. It's obnoxious.
Yeah, you have to use like like 66 gauge and like I don't know, set your guitar like really well to be able to play that tune. I don't know
I
because I know
know.
Kyle plays a 6 string too, which is crazy.
Yeah, well, I use a 6 string, and I think mine are like 70s or something, 70s or
Yeah,
above, but
yeah,
it's obnoxious. So obnoxious.
that's super low. I love that band. They're like they're the only like modern band that I know that's playing like the Corpse Grinder era Cannibal Corpse
Yeah.
style stuff. Like I call it like the spider. If it's like the
Yeah,
like it
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
whenever you
yeah.
play like your hand looks like a spider, like
Right.
spider riffs. But yeah, they're awesome. I love them.
Yeah, that band has just blown my fucking mind within the last year. Like, it, it's crazy to see, like, I mean, a local band that goes from nothing to being like on the headlines. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
to be to the point where they sell out records like nothing. Like
Hmm.
to a point where they have to like reprint everything they do.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I know like the Neil drop, Anthony Fantano like reviewed their record, which gave him a good boost. But yeah, dude, I think like death metal's coming back. I think that's like the new I don't want to say trend because death metal's been around since the 80s,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I think like a lot of people are getting into that modern stuff. Like I think Maggot Stomp and like 20 Buck Spin had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
the modern like the caveman riff trend or whatever. I
Dude,
think
how
that had a
about
lot that got a lot of people into it, which is awesome. Yeah.
Phobophilic? Do you listen to them?
I know who they are. Yeah, they're sick though. My the guitar player for Torture Team AJ like showed me one of their songs. There's like a really heavy like breakdown part or something. He's like, "Dude, check
Yeah.
this out." I was like, "Damn, that's sick." But yeah,
Yeah.
I know Full like yeah, they're sick.
They're very let me just put it this way, their snare, you could hear it from a mile away. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Talk
for
about snare. Have you heard that new Sanguis song?
Oh, dude,
Cody's
I
snare.
I started learning the song, but there's one part it's just so low I can't hear the notes. Like I'm
Yeah,
just like I get
they
lost in
play
it.
in drop G.
Yeah,
It's a little
like
tip.
that trem part. It's like 3/4 in. I can't figure it out. It
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
the
love it, dude.
opening riff is a freaking hit though.
Yeah, yeah. I love like Sanguis because like Cameron already has like that signature riff. It's like the like pinch harmonic. It's like the
Yeah,
like he has.
yeah,
he already has this signature thing. Just sick. I
right.
love them. Those are
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Cody, their drummer, actually produces or not produces, but like mixes all the Twitter team stuff.
I saw that. I was
Yeah,
gonna bring that up. Like, did you reach out to him because you knew him in person, or was
yeah.
it because
I've
nice?
known Cody forever. I've known Cody for like 7 years probably because he used to play in bands from Ohio, like hardcore bands, and like yeah, Noctis have played shows with his bands, and like I'm pretty sure Eastwood has played a show with his band Crew Neck. And of course,
Hmm.
then like when Sanguis like first started, I'm not trying to like brag or anything, but I was like probably one of the first people that listened to them because I remember like whenever
I get
they
bragging
announced
rights.
their yeah,
Yeah,
I remember like when they announced their EP, I like checked out this single and was like, damn, this is awesome. I didn't know Cody was into this type of shit because I knew
yeah.
Cody as like the guy from Crew Neck and like all the like the hardcore bands. And yeah, those guys are those like they're awesome. Yeah, like I asked them to open for a Knocked Loose show, and that's like when I officially met like their singer and their bass player, and I had met their guitar player Cameron before, but I kind of like forgot because he was
Right.
like in a hardcore band. But yeah,
Have
but yeah,
you
those
listened
guys are
to
awesome.
what the hell is it? It's called Skag.
Yeah, like their D beat band,
Yeah, it's just
Cody
a
and their
drummer
Devin.
and yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I haven't
raw,
listened to
man.
it yet. I need to.
Yeah, they only have one song out, but it's pretty tight, man.
Oh yeah, dude. Anything Cody does is awesome. He is like his all his like fucking like grindcore like brutal death metal bands are sick. Like Murder Man and Putrid Stew. Like they're all like
Yes,
so
yes.
sick. The production's just disgusting.
That's exactly yeah, a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Um all right, well let's wrap it up with, what are we gonna expect from all your projects, within the next
Yeah, so
fucking months or
my
year.
current projects are Eastwood and Torture Tomb. And of course, Eastwood has just released our record, and we're gonna keep pushing that. I mean, I've already started writing new stuff, but I mean, until
Mhm.
we can play shows like promote the new record, I'm not worried about that. So yeah, Eastwood Never Gets Easy came out. So check that out if you haven't. If you're into like rock and indie stuff, if you're only into death metal you listen to, you probably won't like it at all.
I like it. I mean,
You
like
probably think I'm a
I've
poser or something, but it's okay.
I think it's sick, man. Like you have two like literally opposite things going on. Like
Hmm.
I've tried it. Like I'm trying to like blend the two in my gig, but it's tough. It really
Yeah,
is.
it's cool. I mean, like, I don't know. I said before, but I'm just like, I love like so many different types of music, and I just like writing different types. So I don't know. Like right now, like my two projects are just like the opposite spectrum, which is fine with me
Right.
because I
Right.
love like the indie stuff as much as I love death metal. So yeah, and then
Yeah.
I have Torture Tombs released our EP in June, and we're gonna put a split out soon with our really good friends, and that's all I can disclose right now.
Hell
And
yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be cool. And
It's gonna
yeah,
be fucking sick.
it's gonna be cool.
I
Cody
can't wait.
produced it, so
Oh
yeah.
boy.
And it sounds a lot better for anyone that thought that our EP sounded like shit. It's because we recorded the drums with one microphone. We got more mics
Yes.
this time, so it sounds better. It sounds like an actual band now. So I'm stoked to put
What
that split out.
one mic a mile away. It's
Dude,
good. It's a
it's so
black metal
rough.
tape, man.
I'm so surprised people liked it because like I don't know, it's so grimy. Like the production on that EP, like the one drum, the one microphone for
I
the
didn't think it
drums.
was
Like,
that bad. I would rather listen to something that's raw than like really tight knit.
yeah,
I don't know how to put it. Like
yeah,
fucking edited in the
I know
studio.
what you mean. Yeah, for sure. I think
But
there's like a good common ground. I definitely want to be more. Not I don't want to be like hi-fi, but I definitely want people to be able to like hear what we're playing because like our drummer Grant is like one of the best drummers I've ever met, and like people need to hear him. And I think that he showcased his skills on the split, so I'm excited for people to hear it because he's like literally one of the best drummers I know. So I'm
right,
stoked.
I've always been told it doesn't matter how good your band is, it's the drummer.
Exactly.
Like
That's pretty true. Yep.
like I don't know. You can be a really shitty death metal band, but if you have a freaking I don't know Morbid Angels drummer on it, like you're
Yeah.
in.
That's what makes it a lot of like the creativity. Like that's why I love like not symbolic, Human by Death is because Sean Reiner just like made that record. Like I just like listen to that album just for the drums sometimes.
Yeah,
Just because like he just
yeah,
like going off and like I feel like the drummers make records sometimes. Like I mean I love Cannibal Corpse, but like he's like the Lars Ulrich of death metal. It's like very one dimensional, but I love that
yeah,
stuff. But I also like appreciate like a really good drummer that you can tell it's like not quantized, like super raw, like old school, like anything like Pete Sandoval has done or like Sean Reiner. It's just like super raw, like not sampled, not quantized. It's just like it's a super
right,
talented drummer. I can always appreciate that. So
right. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, right now, like the best production I like is like Cattle to Cab. Like that's good.
yeah,
That's good. Don't overdo it. You know what I
hmm
mean? But
yeah,
that
yeah. Death metal's not supposed to be overproduced. You know, it's supposed to sound like gritty.
Dave Otero, man, he's a nut. I love him.
Yeah,
I
hmm
gotta talk to him. I got
yeah,
to. But then I'll say, hey man, can I record something with you? And then I'll be like, fuck, I'm broke.
yeah.